This video is not intended for anyone 13 or younger. Viewers, and welcome back to My Hero Academia reaction videos. And today we're going to be tackling chapter 288. I'm your humble host, Josh24214. And yeah, we're going to be tackling chapter 288 that was released in October 14th, I think it was. No, it was, yeah, October 14th. When it came out the same week, like a couple of days after 287, like a few days earlier. But I guess I've been going through a lot of hectic stuff. So without further ado, let's get a little recap of what we missed. On the previous chapter, we finished up stuff in the spectral world with Shigaraki and Midoriya, and we got into the nitty details of what the fast stitches really are just basically genetic memories of the people who had those quirks. And yeah, so it was basically that science actually brought up what was the vestiges were. At the end of the previous chapter, we had Toga thinking about all the stuff that was going on with her and how Twice's death has affected her, and now she's beginning to thinking that maybe she should ask Uraka or Midoriya about her issues. So what shall we learn in chapter 288? Let's find out and see what happens. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It only takes two simple clicks. Click, click. Enjoy the episode. We start off the chapter with no cover page. When we just simply move away from all that stuff from the previous chapter as we get basically a Quinjet flying over. I guess Kevin Feige hasn't sued Horikoshi for it, as we see inside the helicarrier, or the military, getting involved. We see a random conversation between the pilot and its passenger, while also carrying what looks like coils of like electric coils or something. We don't know what they are yet, but some people have theories. And also, we have the My Hero Academia chapter number, which is entitled Save Takedo. Takedo. As we see, we get into the conversation with the pilot and the passenger, with the passenger saying, "Are we not there yet? Kindly ensure we arrive within the next 5 minutes." With the pilot arguing against him, saying, "Not happening. It's not like we're Hawks or Mokuro, and standing while flying at top speed is dangerous, so please sit down." And we have with Kohei Horikoshi, translation by Cabal Cook, and lettering by John Hurt. The pilot continues, also adding a note saying, "Especially since you're not back to full health yet." So this person was in and got himself hurt. And, well, especially from the pilot, what she was talking about, it's implied that this person was heavily injured before, and clearly we don't know who the person is, but some people guess it's actually a best genus who didn't die, but we don't have any full confirmation. And besides, we saw his dead body, so Horikoshi has got a lot of explaining to do if that is the case. So we have our passenger continuing saying, "At this very moment, countless lives are being lost. Nothing else matters, so don't change the subject." And the pilot just saying, "I'm just trying to show my concerns here," as a bit of a comedic joke. So on the next page, we continue with the so on the next page, we get remnants who escaped, the remnants of the villains who escaped from the villa, and they're trying to make a break for it with basically the I think the news chopper or the heroes coming in, random heroes saying our target is currently passing through Naboo City at 100 kilometers per hour. So it's Giga. So, isn't that way too fast? More like way too big. Not to mention indestructible. So yeah, they have been having issues as we get more heroes talking while Giga's just stomping around through getting to Shigaraki as soon as possible, with the heroes saying he's tossing aside buildings with massive mole-like claws. All that flying rubber means more destruction than just what's in his path. We need to evacuate the areas with a 5-kilometer radius around his route. Oh, the people who are. Oh, so I made a mistake. I thought they were villains, but they were heroes. Never mind. With the heroes continuing saying, if we keep heading in his direction, we'll encounter the monster in about 8 minutes. We're already looking at unpredictable damage. This is our failing. As we see random people try to survive Giga's rampage. As more heroes talking, these good people just happen to be in the way. We must save their lives, even at the cost of our own. Why should they suffer for our mistakes? As we quickly cut away to Skeptic and the rest of the League of Villains, with Skeptic saying, heroes incoming. As we have Mr. Compress continuing saying, a satellite image? How handy. With Skeptic continuing saying, handy, he says, betraying his shameful lack of so, sophistication, as Skeptic is typing along his computer, with Skeptic continuing saying, not quite the hero army we met at the villa, but still a good number. As we get the computer camera just zooming in deeper to get more details. And Skeptic continues saying, our being here is mostly due to luck and happenstance. We must keep aware of the approaching enemy if we hope to. And Mr. Skeptic, Mr. Compress just interrupts saying, as we see a scene with Toga. Well, Mr. Compress continues saying, go back, zoom in there, long hair, and this and Skeptic saying, is that any way to ask a favor for someone? As we quickly cut away to the next page, we see that it's Froppy and Uraka getting caught on the camera, and with Mr. Compress saying, speak of the little devils, it's them. And then Toga just flares up, oh! And we see Toga freaking out, trying to pat on Mr. Compress, having Toga saying, Mister, give me my equipment. And Mr. Compress just saying, huh? So aggressive, you're making this old man blush. And with Toga saying, quick, as Mr. Compress drops a marble, and that marble contains Toga's equipment, and Toga's all suited up and ready to go, with her saying, there. As we see on the next page, Mr. Toga just basically leaves, just bounce off Giga, while Mr. Compress saying, not so fast, young lady. Ugh. If only I hadn't noticed him. Don't jump from this height. It's dangerous. And we have Toga interrupting, saying, feeling all confused and gloomy just makes me feel sick. I have to go ask them. I have to. And Mr. Compress continues this argument, saying, at this very moment, say something, Dobby. Don't just stand there grinning. And Dobby just says, who cares? Hey, stop spying on random crap and hurry up. Unless you want to get burned. And Skeptic continues saying, you people, I swear. And we have Spinner interrupting while the wind is covering his eyes of his bandana, just saying Toga. As Spinner continues saying, I know we're just a gang of strays who happen to find each other. But you're not the only one feeling messed up over twice. As we continue on the next page with Spinner saying the league was the only place he felt he could belong, and the boss probably wants us to stick together, referring to a bit with Twice and Shigaraki. While on the next page we have Spinner continuing with Mr. Compress and Dobby, with Spinner saying, I know that doing as we please is a villain way. And we cut away to Toga with Spinner saying, but you better come back for us. That's a bit of worry for Spinner saying that. So after that, we quickly cut away to Oraka, with Oraka just doing her best to help people with. I don't know who. I think it's the radio saying, while Uraka's freaking out about Giga coming her way, saying, the giant fella is in sight. He's fast. Hurry up with the evacuation. As we quick away back to the random people with being saved by heroes. We have Froppy and Uraka trying to help random people in an apartment, with the random hero saying, runaway pedestrians prepare perpetuate from his path. There's still citizens inside these buildings. Split up and rescue them. And we have Uraka saying, got it, and Froppy saying, two more over here, Uraka. And we have Uraka saying, Froppy, as we see a brick of concrete. Then going down to hit some random people, but a random hero just saves the day. As we cut to the next page, we have Froppy just rescuing those people, while Uraka's using her new whip function on her gauntlet, with Uraka saying, sorry for the rough landing. As Froppy continues saying, that did the trick, thanks. As we get a random grandma, while Uraka and Froppy putting those two pedestrians down, with this random woman just showing up saying, hey, you two, I need help. My husband's bed driven, and he's too heavy for me to carry. As Uraka's just reacting to this, while in her inner monologue saying, already too close for comfort. As the old lady continues saying, our place is down here, hurry. As Uraka continues saying, get those two to safety, Froppy. As Froppy says, okay, but be careful, can't have you getting hurt. As we continue to the next page with Uraka's in a monologue saying, we gotta save every life we can. As strangely enough, the old woman is going as fast as Uraka, strangely, but that's probably just for comedic effect, with the old lady saying, my poor Takedo. Hence the title, with Uraka in her head saying, those legs of yours sure can move, ma'am. As we see the old lady going through saying, the strength of my legs is thanks to Tenko's love. As we have Uraka just annoyed, as she continues saying, he'll be okay because I'm gonna help save him. But it's rudely interrupted by our next page, and we see as Uraka comes around the corner with a bit of a 2/3 page, a full page spread of Uraka seeing a naked Toga right in front of her, as Toga says, you will. As we have Uraka basically any sane person would say, Himiko Toga? As she's kind of freaking out, and as we see Toga just going inside the house saying, it's been forever, Uraka. As we see Ochaco Uraka going inside saying, wait. As we see the random December damage of inside the house, as we see, Toga's basically ran off and to hide. And on the next page, we see Uraka continuing in her monologue saying, oh, it's Toga just mocking Uraka with her saying, I was hoping to chat with Froppy too, because Froppy is my cute and precious friend. And with with Midoriya. I love him when he's all beaten up, which is like always. He's so cool. As we see Uraka trying to look around to see where Toga ran off to. With Toga continuing saying, I love how cute you guys are too, Uraka. I want to be just like you. So you gotta tell me. And on the next page, we see Toga basically doing a surprise attack with a knife, basically doing the same thing from the training arc camp, just with Toga just getting the knife ready to stab Uraka from the side. As Toga saying, "What do you wanna do to me?" And on the last page of the chapter, we see Uraka reacting to this and counters what Toga's trying to interrupt Toga, saying, you mean you stole that old lady's blood, killed her, just to ask me a question like that?" And Toga's just like confused at this whole thing, saying, just to. As we quickly get a flashback from Uraraka with the stuff from what happened with the overhaul arc and what happened with Uraraka saying, I was holding him in my arms. As we get to the last few panels of the chapter, we have Uraraka basically doing the rest of the dialogue with her saying to Toga, saying, listen, I'm trying to save every life I can right now. Understand, Himiko Toga. If you get in my way, then I'm going to stop you right here, right now. And the next chapter would hit at November 1st, which had opened up 3 days after this chapter came out. So this one was based. So this chapter is still a good chapter, and we're just getting basically a setup for Uraka versus Toga in a bit of a cat fight. So I know that this one's probably going to be short and there's not going to be much jokes in this one, so I can't wait to see you all on the next chapter with chapter 289. And until then, I will see you all in the next chapter reaction. I've been your humble host, Josh24214, signing off. So have a good day and see you next time. Bye for now.